October 21st, 1600, dawn breaks over a foggy valley in central Japan. 160,000 samurai stand ready. By sunset, 30,000 will lie dead, a dynasty will be born, and a traitor's name will echo through history. This is Sekigahara, the bloodiest samurai battle ever fought. Buckle up. Teduent is diving into the chaos, betrayal, and genius that forged the Tokugawa Shogunate. Before we begin, subscribe to Teduent for untold stories of empires, wars, and legendary betrayals. Now, let's unravel Sekigahara. By 1598, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, Japan's great unifier, was dead. His 5-year-old son, Hideyori, inherited a powder keg. Rival warlords circled like wolves. Two men rose to power: Tokugawa Ieyasu, a patient schemer, and Ishida Mitsunari, a bureaucrat loyal to Hideyori. Ieyasu controlled the fertile east, Mitsunari rallied the west. But alliances were paper-thin. A single spark would ignite war. Ieyasu, 57 years old, a survivor of betrayal and battle, master of the long game. Mitsunari, younger, idealistic, hated by fellow generals for his rigid morals. Their clash wasn't just armies, it was philosophies. Ieyasu bribed allies. Mitsunari demanded loyalty. Only one could win. In 1599, Mitsunari struck first. He drafted 13 accusations against Ieyasu, illegal marriages, land grabs, defying Hideyoshi's laws. The document was sealed with blood-red stamps from loyalists. Ieyasu laughed. "War it is," he said. But secretly, he'd already bribed Mitsunari's allies. Enter Kobayakawa, Hideaki, 18 years old, a hot-headed general nursing a grudge. Mitsunari had denied him glory in the Korean War. Ieyasu swooped in, promising land and power. Secret letters flew. On the eve of battle, Hideaki agreed to defect. But would he follow through? Mitsunari, trusting Hideaki's loyalty, gave him the high ground at Mount Matsuo. A fatal mistake. October 20th, 1600. Both armies marched through torrential rain. Mitsunari seized Sekigahara's narrow valley, trapping Ieyasu. But the Tokugawa forces arrived silently under fog. At dawn, Mitsunari awoke to a nightmare. Ieyasu's troops had flanked him. The trap was set. 5 a.m. Samurai checked blades, whispered prayers. Horses stamped impatiently. The fog was so thick, men couldn't see 3 feet ahead. Then, a horn blew. The Red Devils charged. Naomasa, Ieyasu's most feared general, led 3,600 crimson-armored warriors. They crashed into the Ukita clan's front lines. Naomasa's rule? No prisoners. Samurai drowned in mud. Gunfire echoed. But the Western army held firm. For hours the battle hung in balance, until Ieyasu played his trump card. Noon. Ieyasu glared at Mount Matsuo. Kobayakawa's 15,000 troops stood idle. Desperate, Ieyasu ordered musketeers to fire warning shots at Hideaki's position. The message was clear: fight or die. Panicked, Hideaki signaled his men to attack Mitsunari's flank. The western lines shattered. 4 more clans defected. Mitsunari screamed, "Traitors!" But it was too late. Otani Yoshitsugu, a loyalist general ravaged by leprosy, couldn't even hold a sword. As Hideaki's troops closed in, he ordered his retainer, "Cut off my head, bury it, let Ieyasu never claim it." His men wept but obeyed. Yoshitsugu's defiance became legend. With Kobayakawa's betrayal, the Shimazu, Ukita, and Mori clans broke ranks. Samurai trampled their own allies, fleeing the valley. Ieyasu's cavalry chased them into the hills. By 2 p.m., the battle was over. Mitsunari fled, but his fate was sealed. 3 days later, villagers found Mitsunari hiding in a cave. Dragged to Kyoto, he was executed with a blunt bamboo sword, a final insult. Ieyasu pardoned the traitors but kept their families hostage. Ruthless, effective, Ieyasu rewrote the battle story. Kobayakawa was always loyal, he declared. The Tokugawa censored diaries, burned evidence, and painted Mitsunari as a tyrant. For 250 years, Japan believed the lie, until historians uncovered the truth. In 1603, Ieyasu became shogun. He locked Japan's borders, banned guns, and forced warlords to send families as hostages. Peace, yes. Freedom, gone. But the alternative was endless war. Sekigahara wasn't just a battle, it was a lesson in human nature. Ieyasu knew greed and fear trump loyalty. Today, Japan's politics, business, even pop culture echo his pragmatism. But at what cost? 30,000 lives bought peace and stagnation. Walk the battlefield. Stand where Kobayakawa betrayed Mitsunari. Touch the same rocks stained with blood. Teduent's tip. Visit in autumn. The fog still creeps in, like ghosts of the past. What if Kobayakawa stayed loyal? Would Japan have modernized sooner? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe. We're exploring alternate history in next video. Spoiler, it gets messy. Sekigahara teaches us, power isn't won by heroes. It's won by the ruthless who see allies as pawns, and pawns as expendable. Smash subscribe. We're diving into the siege of Osaka next, Tokugawa's final purge. Until then, remember, history isn't about dates. It's about blood, betrayal, and the liars who win.